So for this how-to section, I'll cover 3 foundational things that you'll want to build as an initial priority to help you start leveraging data effectively and efficiency. The first one is about building a shared taxonomy for your data. Within all of the client sites that I have worked, strangely enough, capturing a glossary is seen as a thankless admin task. But I cannot stress enough the eventual importance that this will have for your organization. Important debates about what constitutes a client or a customer or a consumer, agreeing the scope and the meaning of these core business concepts, and agreeing in what way the organization needs to group, sort, and classify these things is a huge enabler. It lays the foundation for easier software development, higher data quality, easier data integrations, and more consistent insight. But it also takes a lot of effort to get people to use that glossary even after you've built it. So in terms of how we do this, to get the ball rolling on a glossary, you need to establish some basic standards. We generally provide a data definition standard which has hints and tips for things like effective naming of a data item. And here is the standard for good data definitions. Be descriptive, try not to use technical jargon, being concise and unambiguous. And be really clear, avoid simply restating the words in a different order. For example, describing a cheeseburger as a burger with cheese, you're not really adding any value. You should also have a clear process for drafting and approving the data definitions with clear and auditable sign-off. And engaging people within that accountability model that we just talked about is a good way to actually get this glossary built. In terms of what a glossary looks like, we tend to start it off in Excel as a start of a 10, but the meta model is really that we have a unique identifier, a data item name and a definition, some business rules and standards where we can articulate things like, this field should only have these values in it, or perhaps some constraints such as, you should use this specific file format. We also have synonyms and homonyms and a hierarchy where we can indicate relationships between 2 items. So if you've got a concept of a product, you may have a number of product types that you want to define, and this field enables you to flag that they are subtypes of the product concept. So you can nest data items into a hierarchical structure. We also have data item type of concept, entity, attribute, or measure. So you can capture data items of varying levels of granularity. We have an enterprise data class, master reference and transactional, which have varying behaviors in terms of their volume and volatility. We also have a status, a data owner, and a sign-off log. We've refined this model over time and found it to work really well because of its innate flexibility to cater for items of different types. And you may choose to capture other things, such as whether it contains personally identifiable information and where the authoritative source of that data is. Our artifacts typically start their life as standard Microsoft Office products. In my experience, there's no piece of clever software that can do data governance for you. It's more about people and processes winning hearts and minds. And once that cultural shift has been achieved and people are acting and thinking in the right way, then you can look at what tooling can help you accelerate in your delivery and maturity. But having said that, there are some practical challenges to capturing a corporate glossary on Excel. Publishing them as a SharePoint list also works much better. And, if you do want a proper tool for a data glossary, I wouldn't suggest getting a dedicated tool. Look at your wider requirements for data tooling, because often a data modeling or data cataloging tool or a metadata management tool will have some form of glossary facility that you'll be able to use.